Let's take a look at how we can place and receive audio and video calls. So I'm in my Lync client again. I've got only a single contact at this point. So if I wanted to call Desiree, I could hover over this contact and click this call button. Or if I was enterprise voice enabled, which I am, which means I have PSTN connectivity, I could come over here to this little dial pad, and then I could dial out to the public switched telephone network. So if I wanted to order a pizza or something like that, I come out here and dial that public number and get connected that way potentially. But since I don't have that completely set up right now, I'm going to come back over here, and if I hit this little drop down next to the call button for Desiree, you'll see that we can do a dedicated Lync call. So that would be a peer-to-peer call. So from my PC, basically acting as a soft phone to Desiree's, or maybe she's got some kind of Lync certified endpoint connected, like a desk phone. So that would be a peer-to-peer type of call. Or then again, if I had a contact with a PSTN number, I could dial it straight from here. So this functionality is called Click the Call. It makes it really easy for you to place a call, and this contact card will show up in other applications, such as the Office suite. So it makes it real simple for you to place a call straight out with just a single click. And on the contact card, you see here that we've got that same little interface. So I'm going to do a Lync call here, and I'm going to call Desiree, and hopefully she's sitting at her desk and will become active. At this point, though, based off her presence, I might have made a different decision there, but it looks like the call's been placed. And as you can see, a second later, Desiree's presence goes to red, which means she's in a call. You can see that my presence changed to in a call as well, and now I'm red. So that automatically happened for us. Now from here, I could do things such as muting my microphone. So I could click the little mute button there, and I could mute my speakers as well if I wanted to. And also, one thing to point out is if you do have two endpoints that are close in proximity, you'll see an error like this, or a warning rather, that your computer is causing poor audio quality. And in this case, that's just because we're in the same room. But from here, I could do other things such as putting the call on hold. So I've got this little button here to place that call on hold. I could do that. And depending on how I have Lync configured, Desiree might be hearing hold music at this point. So that's a real basic kind of high-level approach to placing an audio call. So if I hang up, let's take a look at the experience receiving a call. So here's the incoming call. So what we call this is a toast message or the toast. And we can see that, hey, Desiree is calling you. Now we can either click on this to accept it, or I can redirect it. Now I can redirect it to voicemail. I can reply with an IM, or I can set my status to do not disturb and kind of just force it to be a blocked type of call. So I have a few options there on how I actually handle that. You can see that her presence automatically went to in a call, and she's been redirected to my voicemail because I didn't answer the call. That's pretty cool. So right now she's leaving me a message. I get my notification from the Exchange server because I've got Exchange integrated saying, hey, you missed a call. And eventually I'll probably get a voicemail. And if I click back over here on the dial pad, I'll have a record of all my voicemails here. And also in my conversation history here, if you hover over this thing, it'll tell you, hey, this is your conversations. I've got some previous video calls in here. I've got this last phone call that was missed. So I could come back in here into these previous records or histories and then place a call directly out of here as well. Now, in terms of placing a video call, pretty similar. Instead of, I could actually upgrade an audio call to video, or I could just say, hey, let's right click on the user and select start a video call. So in both cases here, I'm not going to have any video because I don't have any video cameras connected to these machines. But if I did, it would be very simple. Lync should automatically pick those up just fine as long as it's a relatively new type of webcam. You want to really try to go with a Lync certified piece of hardware. We'll talk about that in a later video. So I'm going to go ahead and end that call. Another thing you can do is manage your call forwarding settings. So if you look down here where it says call forwarding is off, you can totally control this. And it's really kind of cool. If you click this little down arrow here, you can say forward all calls to another number. So if I did have my mobile number associated with my account, I could forward the calls to the mobile, or I could simultaneously ring both the Lync endpoint. So where I'm signed in here, I could simultaneously ring my mobile device. That's really cool. Or I could, just forward to voicemail only. So maybe I'm working on something, I don't want to be disturbed, but I want to be available for IMs. I could forward calls to voicemail only, and then stay available for any other modality. And that's basically, from a high level, the process of receiving and placing audio or video calls.